Welcome to Yuma, Arizona, the border with America and Mexico. Maybe you remember this bad boy. You've seen it in your wildest dreams or nightmares. It's Donald Trump's wall. It is impossible to climb this wall. Not only is it flaming hot, ouch, it burns the fingers. 100 degrees outside. Now here's something interesting, a brand new wall. This is the Joe Biden wall. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he said not one more foot of that Donald Trump racist wall shall we build.
There will not be another foot of wall constructed on my administration.
But here we are. I only bring you this news to show you that he is a dirty liar and that Joe Biden is in fact building this wall, but looks like it may still be effective. We're gonna find out today. This is Benny on the Border. Let's go.
Man, have you ever been to Yuma, Arizona? It is out in the middle of the desert on the border with Mexico, and it is hot. You have to really want to go out to Yuma, Arizona. You must have a good reason to get out into the middle of the desert, and, well, we did. My friend named Johnny Yuma texted me that Joe Biden was building Donald Trump's border wall. I said, huh? What? You gotta be kidding me. Johnny Yuma is the county supervisor in Yuma County.
Yuma County Supervisor, District 2, and I'm the vice chairman of the board, specifically tasked with the border issues.
So he has the right to take me out to the border wall. You have to have a law enforcement vehicle to get out here. We were stopped multiple times by Border Patrol and told we couldn't film. Luckily, we had Johnny Yuma with us. The first place Johnny Yuma took us was the Colorado River, where immediately a group of migrants surrendered themselves to the Border Patrol, and the Border Patrol ushered them directly into our country, like an Uber service.
So what's happening here is these people are giving themselves up to the Border Patrol.
Yep, these are called give-ups.
So when Mayorkas says the border is secure, what he means is that they're just releasing people.
Correct.
There you go.
Yeah, they are sitting on the side of the road. So I think there were 7 in that group.
What is this shelter here?
Well, we've got water here and we've got shade. This was actually put in under Obama.
Really?
Yes.
Welcome station. And you got water. It's a welcome mat. It's a welcome mat.
After touring the Obama-Biden welcome centers for criminal migrants into our country, and after watching our U.S. Border Patrol act as an Uber service for more criminal migrants into our country, we went to go tour Donald Trump's Great Wall. Donald Trump's Great Wall was incredibly effective and stopped illegal immigration cold into this nation. Donald Trump's Great Wall was not completed because of feckless, backstabbing Judas Republicans in the House and Senate, and therefore was left to rot in the middle of the desert. Of course, Joe Biden hasn't put up one more foot of Donald Trump's wall, or has he? This is where things get very, very interesting.
Hey, what is this? It's Joe Biden's border wall being built, completing Donald Trump's wall. Donald Trump's wall is the rusty red, and this is Joe Biden's new style of wall, new style of corruption. Who knows who got paid off here? But they are building it, baby. Here's the crazy part, is that there was already a contract that was signed and completed by the government in order to build this wall. Biden stopped that, and he got a new contract to build his wall. Yo, hey Joe, life comes at you fast.
Indeed, Joe Biden is completing Donald Trump's wall. Might look a little bit different, but it seems to be just as effective. We went up to it ourselves, saw it ourselves, and we wouldn't know how to climb it or get over it. How exactly did this wall get built?
So 19 months ago, Secretary Mayorkas came here. We gave him a tour of the Yuma area sector, talked about some of the challenges, and after he had seen with his own eyes how it affects our community on every level, he agreed to close up 9 of 11 sections of the fence. And they came up with some sort of a multiple layer chain link system that was set on top of a foundation that was above the ground. Whereas when you look at the Trump wall, that foundation, the footings, if you will, are 10 feet into the ground.
So wait a second, if they stopped building Donald Trump's wall, but they had all of the materials to complete it, where the hell is Donald Trump's wall? Well, we found it, and you wouldn't believe what's around it. Another wall! Joe Biden's building multiple walls in the desert. This one's to protect Donald Trump's wall.
When we're talking about putting it up, they're actually just moving it and bringing it down here and putting it inside of a wall. Because why? It was getting stolen, so walls work, right?
So they put the wall in the wall.
They put a wall around the wall because the wall was disappearing.
Human trafficking is the modern-day slave trade. These people are slavers. They traffic in human beings. It's important to sort of put that punctuation on it. So by facilitating this trade, Joe Biden is facilitating the largest human slave trade in existence. Now, Joe Biden is an evil person for doing this, and Donald Trump's wall didn't even stop these evil cartels from engaging in this trade. There's a spot in the wall where they used a blowtorch to carve it up and to shove people underneath. Johnny Yuma showed us in detail and explained how it all happened.
They wanted to get large groups of people across, and so right here along the border where you see this different colored steel, they actually cut this wall, and they had vans here disguised as agricultural production vans. And as they came across, they gave them a hard hat and they gave them a safety vest so that they looked like they were ag guys. These are people that were being smuggled for whatever purpose, but there were men, women, and children that were being forced through that small hole. We've got cameras that are on every third pole. None of this has been energized. This was all the infrastructure that was put in under Trump so that we had cameras every 200 feet. And on our southern border where we have more narcotics and more of the bad actors coming across, in those areas, all of the infrastructure with the lights and the cameras were removed. And you have to ask yourself why.
So where would they get through? Because I've been seeing this Trump wall for miles.
Yeah, well, at the end of the Trump wall, it abruptly stops when we come to a reservation where we have a sovereign nation that has decided that they do not want a Trump wall.
You've heard of the end of the road? Well, welcome to the end of Trump's wall. An Indian reservation means that Trump's wall can no longer go forward from this point. And what do we have left? Well, kind of looks like D-Day.
So every night, starting at about midnight, people start lining up here, waiting to be brought across. They again will start discarding everything that they have on them.
We've got tampons and Q-tips and some hygiene products.
Again, some of these people, if they have a criminal past, don't want to be correctly identified, so they rip up their IDs. Many of them will discard their money, which is an indication of a country of origin. Even a 1 peso.
How much does it cost to get smuggled into America?
The minimum charge right now is around $8,000, and we have been told that it is as high as $70,000 to $80,000, for example, somebody from China or another country, a special interest country. One of the other things that you're gonna see everywhere here, Benny, is the SIM cards. Everybody takes their old SIM card out. You'll see a new one or an old one. It was the most interesting thing that I ever found, and I forgot that I was just walking along like this and I was picking up different things that I found on the ground, and I actually found a USB memory stick, and I decided to see what was on it, so I unplugged my computer, and it was pictures of the Mexican embassy in Cuba. So it was pictures of every room and then documents of all of their different bills, etc. So turned that into the sheriff, but really interesting. So there's a dog that runs around out there, and if you hear him, generally he's probably waiting over by where everybody's crossing, and he'll accompany people up. He'll actually run ahead and he'll let Border Patrol know that people are coming across. We've called him Yui, and he's been here since Biden took office. And he's a great little mascot.
Dog's MAGA.
He is.
Look at this thing. It's a monster. It's 30 feet tall. Iron. You ain't getting past this, baby. Problem with Donald Trump's wall is a matter of timing. You see, they didn't end up having enough time to complete the wall. It stops and becomes this. We're only going to solve this greatest human smuggling, trafficking, humanitarian crisis with real solutions. That is not a real solution. That's called an open border, and it is not secure.
It's estimated somewhere between 1.5 and 2 million people who have come into United States, not as give-ups, but people who have avoided detection, who are here for nefarious purposes. This was a pass-through for all of the 9/11 hijackers, where they were going from San Diego over to Tucson for their flight training. And what will it take before the Biden administration puts our safety and security at the forefront to secure our country?
When describing the human slave trade perpetuated by Joe Biden on the border, we often skip over the people who are most affected, which are the people who live on the border, the people who live in Yuma, Arizona. We headed into downtown Yuma, Arizona, and saw an old clapboard, Western-style main street straight out of a John Wayne Western. We went to Lutz Casino, which is a quirky American diner and dive.
Benny, can you read the sign at the bottom? Where who meets? Where the elite meet.
Just looks elite. It was awesome, man. The people there were excited to see us. We got to sit with the sheriff and talk with him about what's really going on.
This is the sheriff and the chief of police and his wife, Olga.
How you doing, sir? How much harder does it make your responsibilities?
You know, when you got to go 50, 60 miles out in the middle of the desert, process a crime scene because cartels abandoned somebody out in the desert and they die. Then you got to try to find out what country they're from. We got over 160 countries that have been across here. Doesn't make it easy.
Since you're here on the front lines, why? There seems like there's a lot of common sense solution. We saw the wall sitting and rusting in the middle of the desert. They put up a wall to protect the wall, but they won't put up.
We've been asking that for a long time.
Yeah.
Other than politics, being integrated into public safety,
Yeah.
which should never happen.
Yeah. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris decided to come to Yuma to finally see the border. They've never seen the border, but they decided to kind of come here. What do you say to them?
Tell them the same thing everybody else does. I mean, it's intellectual avoidance. They would never come here. Because if they did, they would see their policies are failing miserably.
Donald Trump caught a load of hell for wanting to build a wall, $5 billion. They wouldn't give him the money. They said it's too expensive. Here we are, rounding the corner on $200 billion to Ukraine's border. How does that make you feel? Since you're on the front line of this war.
What they need to do, I don't care what political party it is.
Yeah.
If the boots on the ground say this is what we need geographically to secure our border, then that's their job to support their law enforcement.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you. People would like to hear your opinions.
You know what? I don't really care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, if you're a Trump supporter or a Biden supporter, if you hate the wall or if you love the wall. If you are a human being, you know that what's going on our southern border is wrong. You know this is the greatest slave trade in human history happening currently right now. Evil people are making a massive profit off the misery of other human beings, and that is morally wrong, no matter where you come from. No matter what colors are on your political banner, we are all part of the same race, the human race, and we should be in favor of human beings being treated better than slaves. And that's what's happening right now on the border. You should be in favor of us having operational control of our own borders, because if you don't have that, you don't have a nation. And you should be in favor of those who stand up against human smuggling, sex trafficking, and the monstrous activities here on the border. And the people that it truly affects are you and me. You can't have a safe nation without safe borders, and you can't have a moral nation or a nation that'll survive if you don't appreciate and value human life. Crazy that you have to say that in the year 2023, but, well, here we are. As Joe Biden is quietly saying, build the wall.
So what's the biggest difference between these two administrations? Well, one is acting as a taxi service for every migrant that comes across the border. But number two, well, the color of their walls, actually, that they're putting up. We've been shocked to find out that Joe Biden is, in fact, building a great big wall, completing Donald Trump's Great Wall. Look at this thing. You ain't getting past it. But then the Joe Biden edition, silver and very cold to the touch, much like Joe Biden, but still, I think gets the job done. Why aren't they doing victory laps in the press about completing Trump's wall? I'll let you decide. It's your boy Benny. See ya.